music in the background.
Please continue to hold,
But
we'll be with you shortly.
it's Jeep customer care, the people that really don't care. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on these people. I've been on hold now for 20 minutes, and it's near impossible to get a hold of anybody. There we go. Let's just cancel this. Ugh. For most of you, or I mean, money, you, whoever's going to watch this doesn't really, probably won't know me. I have a tiny YouTube channel. I'm a massive Jeep fanboy. I mean, I'm telling you, I waited and waited and waited to get this Eco Diesel. I mean, when they said there was an Eco Diesel and a Wrangler, I couldn't get to the dealership fast enough and get out my checkbook. I have been everywhere in this Jeep. I'm the guy that's got the little "I love me" badges on my Jeep, driving that all around. I that Jeep is my it's just my magic carpet to doing photography. I'm out storm chasing. I mean, this thing is my life, and it's a big part of it. So I depend on it to make some money. Depend on it to do this YouTube stuff. Depend on that Jeep. Just to have some type of semblance of fun that doesn't involve going down to the pub drinking beer. And I've had it I got it in 2021, and out of that time, Jeep has owned that 9 months as of today. It's their Jeep, and so I'm just going to read a little bit of story here, and I'm just going to tell people you need to think real hard about putting out, shoot, now what are they up to? $75,000 for a Jeep. People really need to soul search and go, does this company, do these bean counters and suits? It seems like, I swear to God, whoever's at the top level just must be wearing a suit and tie. They fired all the engineers. And their customer service is designed to divorce their customers from management. When you call customer service, you can't get to anybody. It's a black hole. It's somewhere in India. They tell you, don't worry, we're taking care of it. But just to be clear here, and this story is all about the last time was 3 months broken down on a mountain, traveling between Houston and Las Vegas, into Mexico. That took 3 months. At least they ponied up and they did compensate for some of the time that the Jeep was gone. And per contract, they did ship. And I mean per contract, they shipped the Jeep back to Las Vegas. So that was that. This time around, this has been going on since May to now. And when I was in Las Vegas, I went in there and I went in for a few things. And I said, make sure you fix it. And don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And I mean, it was in there 7 times between May and July 19th. And they were like, don't worry, Mr. Miller, we got you. So I'm going to read a little bit of a story here, and we're going to make it quick. And then, I hope the internet will pick this up and just warn other people not to be stupid like me, because I really feel like a used condom. They really did me wrong. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't go get an opinion. I didn't try. I haven't done anything crazy. All I've done is asked to be treated fairly and compensated fairly for the frickin' 5 months. It's still ongoing. It's almost 6 months now, and they have not gotten off their asses even to, like, per contract ship the Jeep to me. They just can't get around to it. Nor have they done anything about the $9,000 bill that they charged me that wasn't under warranty. Because, hey, when I bought the Jeep, it was everything from the frame up for 100,000 miles. I'm at 79,000 miles. And what do you know, Mr. Miller? None of that diesel exhaust stuff is covered. So you're on your own, bro. So it's not only so much that I ponied out the money. What really is killing me is that I paid top dollar to get effed. I'm just going to say effed for the kids, because they just took their sweet little time. So it went something like this, and I've already mailed this into Auburn, Michigan, into that black hole that is where their, I guess, mail goes. I have no idea. And I also sent a copy of this to Jeep customer care. So it goes something like this: to Jeep corporate and the court of public opinion, because I really hope that the Jeep community picks this up and basically tells Jeep, you know what, you can't treat your loyal fan base this way. From John Miller, Jeep case, and specifically everything I'm going to say is backed up, documented. I even got video on all of this. Jeep case 905074142. Here you go. My YouTube channel, by the way, is www.wt6.us. You can go out there. I've said nothing but great things about Jeep the entire time I've been on it. I didn't post all the other crap up to the internet, but that's now changing. I'm going to start posting more and more, and I'm just going to post the truth and let people, figure it out for themselves. It is my YouTube channel, and Jeep, you'll be featured prominently. Your story will be shared with every overlanding channel willing to listen. So if you're an overlanding channel, please pick this up and share it. And save your subscribers or your readership or your viewers. At least let them know that Jeep's just basically out to fuck you. Oh, I said, sorry, is out to screw you. So here's the story. I want to say thank you for shattering every ounce of confidence I once had in the Jeep brand. Take a moment to look up my case and ask yourself, can your web marketing spin enough magic to convince someone like me, someone who once loved Jeep, that you deserve even a second glance from loyal customers? Here's my story. I drive a 2021 Jeep Wrangler Eco Diesel. I've Jeeped it out. I've taken it everywhere over the 3 years I've owned it. I also purchased an extended warranty service contract up to 100,000 miles, the so-called bumper-to-bumper warranty. And that turned out to be a super lie. I love my Jeep. And for everybody out there, I do love my Jeep. That thing is like a big boy Lego kit, and I have done lovely stuff to it. But you know what? If I could swap the engine out and get something else, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I don't care if it's Suzuki or whoever, just so long as the engine runs and it's not going to leave me and the cat stranded in the desert again. So basically, I'm telling Jeep, I love my Jeep, but despise Jeep corporate. I despise your dealership system. I would rather endure a root canal with no anesthesia than have to deal with any of this ever again. So the saga begins. Like I said, mid 2022, we talked about the New Mexico incident, traveling from my cousin's house in Houston, going back home to Vegas, got stranded, limp mode, had to climb over mountains, 1.5 hours driving in limp mode in my Jeep just to get told at the dealership after sitting there with my cat in a cat carrier for days is like, gee, Mr. Miller, we don't know when we're going to fix it. You're on your own. Okay, fine. So, Mr. Miller rented a car, got back to Vegas, and I said that they had a little bit of soul, and it took 3 months, and they sort of resolved some of that, compensated me for the time that they kept the Jeep. Okay, fine. A little bummed, a little angry, but at least I didn't think they were complete douchebags at this point. Okay. Major complaints, DEF limp mode. They fixed it. Oil pressure light. Since I bought the Jeep, never, ever worked. In New Mexico, I said, fix it. They said they fixed it. What do you know? Got back to Vegas, not fixed. They did do the electrical system. The electrical system wasn't charging. They fixed that. They got it only took them 3 months to find an alternator. They could have got it AutoZone, but no, they made me sit there with no vehicle and no income. So, hey, all right. So, like I said, Jeep covered what? 3 months of warranty payments. Jeep car rental and fuel costs, they did pay that. And repairs under warranty. I don't know. This time around, they didn't tell me, gee, Mr. Miller, it wasn't covered. So I don't know what that was all about. But you know what? It stung, all that stuff. But I got over it. So let's go for round 2, shall we? The current situation we're in. May 2023. Check engine light comes on. Pressure oil lights on. Still not fixed. So I take the Jeep to Jim Marsh, and I am name dropping because if you don't do business with these people. Went to Jim Marsh, and I went in there, and they told me, gee, Mr. Miller, your DEF injector is clogged. Oh, by the way, it's not covered under warranty. And oh, by the way, Mr. Miller, it's $1,425. Let's just round it up, $1,500. That'll be cash, thank you. Pay up. So I'm sitting here going, well, Jesus, man, I just got done with a DEF problem. We're back to a DEF problem again. So it went from 68,000 miles where it got fixed to 74,000 miles, somewhere in there, to now we're having this problem again? Really? So they talked me off the ledge, and, I got reasonable. I mean, Mike, my service dealer over there, I like the guy. It's not his fault. He's just saying this is what it is. So I opened up a case with Jeep Care, and I said, hey, this is kind of an extenuating. I think this is extending from the first incident, to which they told me, no, it's not. And, there's nothing we can do for you. Okay. Okay. Really? All right. So I paid that. I said, fix the oil light. Here's where it gets crappy. From May until July 19th, my car was in there. No less, no less. I have this documented. I'll be happy to share the documentation. 7 times. 7. I think it was almost 9, but let's just call it 7. And during that time, the oil light, they looked at that 3 times, couldn't fix it. They did fix the DEF injector. They told me they put a brand new one in, and that cost, for the $1,500. And what else did they do? They nope. They did maybe pay. Actually, they tried to replaced the sensor under warranty. Then they charged me money, or for the oil sensor. Then they charged me again because they had to roto rooter out something, get the oil going back. And I don't know. But during this time, the PCM module, I'm not even sure what the hell that does, but that was covered under warranty. Okay, great. And then we got into the overheating and the loss of power in the Jeep. I have video after video shared with the Jeep dealer. I even had the mechanic go for a ride with me, and they basically told me nothing wrong with my Jeep. Shouldn't be doing that. Nothing wrong. They didn't know what to do. And the overheating thing is, this is so well documented that you know what they did? They said, "Oh, your coolant bottle is leaking. We're going to replace that under warranty," which they did. And then, okay, great. So Jeep is still overheating. I said, I'm going to see family in Houston, Texas again on July 19th, July 20th. Is my Jeep good? Don't worry, Mr. Miller. We got you. Jeep's fine. I said, are you sure? Because I don't want a repeat of New Mexico again. No problem. Great. So I'm driving the Jeep around, especially the 4 days before I left, still overheating. Coolant doesn't seem to be leaking too much, but it's still dropping a little bit. So and the power is iffy, I'm like, because let's say when you're driving around Vegas, it's pretty flat in the valley, so but they said we test drove it, we're good. Awesome. All right, skipping down to the bulk of the incidents. July 20th, me, the cat, and everything I own is loaded up. I'm headed out to Houston, Texas. I'm going to be doing some photography work. I'm really excited about this trip. I get as soon as I get up out of the Vegas Valley, start climbing up these mountains through Black Canyon, through the Willow Beach area. What do you know? Jeep starts overheating. There's something wrong with the power band. So I'm basically driving it slow. I'm asking. Before I left, I asked, what should I do? Well, just don't be hard on it. Okay, great. So here we go. So I'm driving, and and it's still doing its thing, but I'm managing the heat by not keeping my foot into it. And so I have to climb up this to get into Flagstaff, Arizona, where the story really takes place. I have to climb up the eastern side of the San Fernando Peak, which I'm climbing up that one. That really put the Jeep into a situation to where it wanted to overheat, but I was managing it. And so long story short, I finally get up the mountain, I get on top, and I'm coming down the other side. I get 45 minutes out of Flagstaff. And of course, during this time period, the diesel had gone through a regen cycle and told me, okay, regen, just drive for a while. I drove for a while. It said it was good. And then we get up on the other side of this mountain, and then all hell breaks loose. I'm on the phone with Jim Marsh just saying, hey, this thing just told me that I got what is it? It went 90%. The DEF system. It's saying it's bad. And then of course he's like, oh, don't worry, just drive it. At 45, a steady stream. It'll regen. And then all hell breaks loose, and the Jeep basically stalled out. Everything was smoking. It was crazy. I got me and the cat are stuck on the side of the freaking desert again, right? ×2 again for 45 minutes. I'm out there. No, 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes, outside of Flagstaff on the east side. I'm there for hours. I've got, I made an evap cooler out of my overlanding batteries with wet towels on it, trying to keep the cat from dying of overheating. I'm overheating. I'm sunburnt. And only to have, you know, sometime later in the day, I finally got USA to come out there, pick the Jeep up, and move it into Flagstaff, drop it off at Planet Jeep. Very next day, we rent another shitty ass car, and I have to drive my ass and him, and most of my stuff is still in Flagstaff. I got my camera gear and my cat. That's pretty much what I took with me. And here we are. Now I've gotten into, you know, we left. So to this day, what's the story? Well, it turned out that July 20th, 2 weeks later, they told me, well, Mr. Miller, your DEF filter, you know, has road damage and has a hole in it. So they showed me the picture and I looked at it. You ever seen a pop can when, you know, if you crush it, metal folds in? Or if you explode metal folds out. So they showed me the picture and I go, well, that looks like a pressure failure along the seam of the mechanical device. And they go, well, no, that's road damage. And I go, well, no, I mean, road damage, I mean, it's blown out. It's a pressure failure. Well, it doesn't matter. Jeep's not going to warrant it anyway. And you give us $3,500 is what they told us. Literally $3,500. So I'm a little pissed because I find out that this is not under warranty. Okay, fine. How long is my Jeep going to take to fix? Oh, we don't know. So I'm on with my insurance company because, you know, they basically said call them, and I said, hey, the Jeep dealer says this is road damage. Okay, Mr. Miller, no problem. Hey, you know, if it's road damage, we're going to give you a rental car for at least 60 days. At this time, you know, it's only been a few weeks. I really thought that we'd be moving through this process and John would be back to work. But did that happen? F no. Here's what happened. So USA keeps calling the dealership every day, trying to get an update of when's it going to get fixed, and the dealer just kept jerking them off. We don't know. And finally, USA came back to me and said, gee, Mr. Miller, you don't get a rental car because they just don't know. It could be forever. And I'm like, dude, really? Okay. So they went $3,500. They finally, so no, this saga right now is 5.5 months and counting. So I'm just trying to get through this real quick and not bore anybody with the rest of this video. But I think it's important people understand what the dealership system is all about and what Jeep really is all about. It's deny, delay, deny. They haven't deposed yet, but you know what? If we went there, I'm sure they would do that too. They're all about just, you know, no accountability. And so it goes something like this. So they got the DEF filter. They finally get one in. They get it installed. Okay, great. They go start the Jeep up. And this is like periods of weeks and weeks and weeks. They started up. What do you know? Now the EGR. You know, the EGR system. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Back up a little bit. The DEF injector that I bought like no less than 4 weeks ago in Las Vegas for $1,400, almost $1,500. Guess what? That's broke. I'm like, whiskey, tango, Foxtrot, come again. Yeah, Mr. Miller, that part's broke and we need to, you know, so they didn't know that it had been replaced. They just said, we're charging you for it. And I'm like, over my dead body you are. I said, I own that part. And it was assured that that was fixed. And they said, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just warranty that, you know, no problem. We'll get you a new one. And they did. So I got DEF and now I got a new DEF injector. All right, great. Weeks go by. Now they go to start the Jeep up. Remember, I dropped it off when it was hotter than Hades in the desert up on that mountain to now it's colder than, you know, a witch's booby and a brass bra, you know, for today. And it, you know, there's a lot of time in between here. And so I don't know if somebody was out joyriding this thing. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that as we went along, it was always something else. Now it's the EGR. You know, I said, well, what the hell's that? Well, you know, it recycles the exhaust around and it's like it pumps that down into the DEF. That's DEF filter and then that's bad. I'm like, okay. Oh, and also the sensors that went with it, that's bad too. I'm like, really? Any of that covered under warranty? Oh, hell no. Oh no, Mr. Miller, not that. Well, how much is that? Oh, that's probably another, I don't know, that came out to be like another $1,400, $1,500. I'm like, you're freaking kidding me. Awesome. Okay. So they don't have any, of course, you know, there's always that delay of a week or two in finding a part somewhere on the, you know, because they're made by Smurfs. and there's none in the country. So, they finally got that installed with the sensors. They go back and they run it again. And then they're like, oh, Mr. Miller, your SCR sensors are blown out. They sent me a picture showing me that they were actually physically broke. And I went back and I told the tech or the service guy, I go, you remember when I told you that there was a pressure failure from the picture you showed me? Something blew out. So how did road damage cause the SCR sensors to fail? Because something had to shoot down the tailpipe to break those. And he says, well, we'll go to your insurance company and see if they'll pay for it. I'm like, oh, jackass. So logically looking at it, something inside the system shot down the tailpipe and broke those. I think the dealership actually got so sick of my Jeep sitting there for so long that they just negated that and said, don't worry about it. Because that was going to be another, I don't know, $1,500. And so now we've gone DEF, we've got DEF injector, EGR sensors, SCR sensors, and here's the coup de grace. Are you ready? I can't make it up if I tried. So they go and start it back up, and then boom, what do you know? The brand new DEF filter that they put in there, that's bad too. I'm like, how the frig can that be bad? It just got manufactured. Oh, well, the parts can be bad. And I'm like, you've had my vehicle and denied me the right to make a living for how long now? And you're telling me that you don't worry, Mr. Miller, it's under warranty. We'll get another one. Yeah, that was 3 weeks. 3 friggin' weeks. Because there was none in country. Gargamel and the Smurfs hadn't made any. So I waited. Okay, great. That brought me all the way up to 4 months and a couple weeks. And the only other little delay in there was a couple weeks because when they went to drive my vehicle, finally the steering stabilizer was off, and that was a leak because I had a Terraflex under warranty, so I had them ship it back on. But it took them a week. I think it was like a week and a half, almost a week, or was it a week? I'm going to go with a week because the guy was sick, or somebody left. They didn't have enough staff to drive the vehicle. So I'm just going to round it up and, all the way up from July 20th to December 20th. And that's exactly the 5-month window that they basically just jerked me off. So during this time period, I just wanted, and this is why you really need to worry about, Jeep customer care. That's called, I don't care about you. So the first thing I did was when we opened that up, I asked for lemon law support, right? These two issues are related. They happened real close together and they really caused me a lot of pain. So, I figured, okay, well, maybe Jeep will pony up and see, that, hey, this is a crap system that they developed and they'll hook me up. Also, if you look up on the EGR system, there was a recall from 2018 to 2020 on the EcoDiesel for EGR work. Mine was a 2021. How convenient. But it's the same stuff where the EGR fails and it dumps coolant down into the DEF system. So, yeah. That's online. Go look that up. I'm not making it up. But you know what? I didn't qualify for that one. So I asked for lemon law support. Denied. Right up. 2 days later, denied. Not going to happen. Then I asked Jeep customer care, well, can you extend the warranty out and give me some warranty relief? Denied. And the reason, Mr. Miller, you already have a warranty. I'm like, it's a freaking warranty that covers nothing. Nothing. Well, too bad. That's how that went. Oh, and then I asked, so I said, okay, fine. Are you going to at least compensate me for the months of financial hardship? And I'm not talking where I get a lawsuit, someone's throwing me down, a couple $1,000,000 and I live like a fat cat. I'm asking for the shit that basically I paid the Jeep payment every month and the insurance to have no car. Nope, denied. Really? How about some relief on the repair? I paid top dollar. I paid lock, stock, and barrel the full amount to get what? To get cornholed? Because, you know what? Why don't you give me your $9,000 and we'll get your Jeep back to you whenever we feel like it. We don't care that your primary vehicle. We don't care that you have to work. We don't care that you haven't done any photography, you haven't done any YouTube, your whole life's come to a screeching halt, and you're basically batshit crazy right now. No, we don't care about that. Denied. How about compensating me just for the basic expenses? And this is my favorite one. And this gets to be kind of petty in the end. But I had my rental car was 17. No, it was $1,100 for a one-way ride from Flagstaff, plus the fuel, plus the hotel, plus the food. I think it came out to be about I'm gonna round it up, $2,300 tops, right? And so they told me, well, we'll cover the car rental, but the other expenses you need to go to some Mopar department and work it out with them. So what does Mr. Miller do? I get on the phone. I call the Mopar agent. And you know what she does? She sends me right back to India. Go talk to your case manager. She'll take care of you. Oh, you mean the chick that every time I call never calls me back? She's never there, and when I ever ask her, hey, can you escalate this? I'd like to see my Jeep before the end of 2025. And it's like there is nobody to call because management at Jeep, they're these unicorns. They don't exist. And the only way that they exist, I don't know how they exist. That's kind of a redundant statement because I've never been able to ever talk to anybody except just for recently. We're going to wrap this story up. So here's the deal. It's been denied. They still have my vehicle. So 3 days ago, I get an email and it says, Jeep, fill out a survey and tell us how your customer experience was. And I'm like, you got to be effing me, really? So I'm like, so the guy that fixed my, or the service writer, I'm not after his ass over at the Planet Jeep. I'm not after Mike over at Larry Miller. These cats are just dudes got to make a living, right? But here's what I am after. Whoever owns these Jeep dealerships need to be tied to a stake and tarred and feathered. I mean, I can't even, I want to be charitable. I want to be Christian about it, but I just can't. I just can't. I can't imagine. I know there's got to be other people like me out there that they've just destroyed. And it goes something like this. Okay, great. I fill out. It's like 0, 0, 0, 0. Don't comments. Please don't take this out on the service manager or the service writer. It's not his fault, but it is Jeep's fault. I mean, because it's Jeep, the dealership, and Jeep corporate as their names up on the banner. And so therefore they're couplable together. You got one guy that can't fix anything, that's overcharging, and you got the company that can't make parts and won't stand up and basically honor their product. Okay, great. So anyway, long story short, I get through this whole thing and it says, would you like a callback? And I'm like, oh, whatever. Check. Next day, my phone rings. Hi, this is Sandra from Jeep. And I'm like, I felt like somebody stepped in the pit of goblins because I was just like, I just had a mental meltdown. Tried to be civil about it. Tried not to drop too many F-bombs. But my mentality as a veteran is that when you're supposed to do something, you do it. There's no arguments. You don't equivocate. If it's your responsibility, you get it done. You're right. So, I mean, maybe I expect too much of people. And so I basically went through this whole story. I said, this is it. And then the questions were, is this how you treat your customers? Is this how you treat brand loyalists? And she's like, I said, all I ever wanted to do was talk to somebody from corporate. She goes, well, I am corporate. And I said, F a doodle do. Are you serious? I said, I thought you guys are unicorns. She goes, no. She says, no, we take customer service seriously. And I said, really? Why is my Jeep still sitting in Flagstaff, Arizona since after December 20th? I mean, could nobody pick up the freaking phone and dial a shipper, at least get a tentative date, get something on the calendar? How about when you're supposed to call people back, you call them back? And even if you don't have anything nice to say, you just say, Mr. Miller, we haven't forgotten you. We're just too broke because, Stellantis' stock has taken a 40% dip. The last CEO, that jackass had to step down, because he was emphasizing shareholder profit. And less about the technology or their customer base. But hey, that's beside that. Um, how about when you say you're going to do something, you do it? Don't worry, Mr. Miller. I know that was like last Friday, the 3rd, I think. And she says, I can't do anything for you right this second. I was like, ma'am, I'm not asking for immediate gratification. I'm asking for somebody to give a shit. That's what I'm asking for. And I'm asking for some follow up on this one. Okay? Get my Jeep back to me. That's contract. That's not even you doing me a favor. I paid for that. Okay. Today is the 8th. So what happened on Monday prior to this? No phone call, no nothing. I called in. Don't worry, we'll call you. Nada. Yesterday, called in. Nope. Hey, India says, don't worry, they'll call you back. You're important. Nope, no phone call. And I'm not trying to roast this woman in any stretch of the imagination. I just don't know what the I don't know the process over there, because it just basically, I don't give an F about you seems to be the motto. And then called in today. Nobody can help you at this point in time. You'll sit on hold for an hour to basically get a hold of nobody. Just some agent that says, at my level, I can't do anything. I'll just send a chat message to the supervisor, and somebody will get a hold of you. And that never happens. And here we are, again. So, how do I put this? January 20th, folks, we'll make 6 months. 6 months of not having a Jeep. For a guy that paid the full amount. No discounts, no consideration, and it's all been denied. No support from anybody at Jeep. And it's just basically lip service. Hey, we care about you, love the brand. Jeep loves you. We respect you. And my answer is, that's a freaking Cheerio. That's nothing. So I'm still waiting for my vehicle back. I will probably never buy another Jeep again. In fact, I had a fantasy that I wish Jeep would just give me a brand new Jeep so that I could roll it out to a dry lake bed in Nevada and have a YouTube event where I invite all the Jeep community to come down there and we light that thing on fire in effigy. Jeep doesn't deserve a nickel from any of us. Not one penny. The only thing that makes Jeep valuable to me right now is, I said, it's a big boy Lego kit. I've modified it. I've got so much money into it, just making it part of my lifestyle that, for me to burn it to the ground right now would be retarded. But a deep, dark part of me just wants to put C4 in it and see it go to Valhalla. So everybody out there, take heed of this. If you know of other people in this situation, talk about it. Don't let these bastards get away with it. All right. They'll take your money. They're a bunch of suit and ties. All they are is about that cash, and it shows when you go online and, and you're looking at Jeeps that are upwards. I mean, Jesus, man, we're talking $60,000 to $120,000, depending on what Jeep you buy. Do you remember when Jeep was the working man truck? It was fun. It was great to have one, and you could afford it. And now they just cornhole you for the cash and leave you hanging. And that's all I have to say. So please, share it up, send it around. I'm not trying to be famous, but I really, really, really want Jeep marketing to suck balls on this one, period. Thank you.